Okay, class, today we're going to discuss what a number is, how to write it in a number line form, in numerical form, and in a written out form. And we're also going to explore the absolute value of a number and the opposite of a number. So we're going to discuss what we already know about numbers, their opposites, and absolute values. So we're going to just start off with the definitions and examples of the concepts. So for numbers, can you give me examples of numbers?
4,
4. What's another number that you can think of?
9,
Right? Good. So that's just simple examples, right? So we can write those down. We have 4 and 9 as our examples. Okay. So now we're going to discuss what opposites are. So let's play a little game just to discuss opposites. So if I say bad, what's the opposite of bad?
good,
Okay. And if I say night, what's the opposite of night?
day,
Okay. Can you give me 2 more opposites? Anything you can think of.
the sun and the moon,
Okay, that's good. 1 more. Anything you can think of. How about like if I tell you you making a good grade in class is a positive thing. So if you're making a bad grade in class, of course you want to improve it, but if you're making a bad grade in class, that might be a negative thing, right? Yeah, you want to turn into a positive.
mm-hmm.
So we know that negatives and positives are opposites. Yes?
Yes,
Okay. So now that we discussed that, let's talk a little bit about absolute values. Absolute value seems like a big word that it's kind of scary. So you're like, absolute value, what's that? So absolute value is just a number, a value that we think of, that no matter if it's negative or positive, it'll always be positive. So like if I ask you this question, you're walking from your house to the school. Let's say it's a distance of 10 yards. That's probably a lot. Not a lot. It's about 30 feet. So let's consider you going from your school back to your house. That you will think of would be a negative, right? Because if you're going from your house to your school, that's like a positive distance of 10 yards. So if you're going from your school to your house, that's a negative distance of 10 yards. But we can't really think of distance being negative. Because it's not like I'm saying you're going negative 10 yards. It sounds weird, right? So absolute value kind of works into this. We can say that, and how we show absolute value is putting a number inside 2 lines. Kind of seems like we're enclosing a number in 2 L's. Yes. So if we're putting the absolute value of negative 10, it will just be equal to 10 because we're making that value positive. Okay. Any questions so far?
no,
So now let's go ahead and try to write out numbers in numerical form, in the written, and on a number line. This is pretty easy. This is stuff that we know already. But we're going to practice it and review it a little bit to make sure that we do understand how to do it. Okay. So let's start off with 14. So if I say write out the numerical value of 14, what do you think that means? Let's say
How
numerical.
much it's worth?
In a way, yes. So numerical, what word does numerical remind you of?
Numbers.
Numbers. So that's basically what it is. It's numerical value is just writing out the number. So you write 1 and 4, 14. So that's a numerical value. And let's see. Now let's write out the written form. So what would be the written form? It would just be
14.
yes, 14. Now we're going to do what's probably the kind of the most challenging step. It's doing it on a number line. Now I already have it written out, but I'll show you how to do it. You just have to make a number line from 1 to, I have mine from 1 to 20. And I have it right here. From 1 to 20. And then I just made, well, from 0 to 20, and then I just have the little lines going through. And then all I need to do is label it from 1 to 20 to say, for this particular example. And then we'll put a dot right on the 14, just like you're doing right now. Yes. So that's where you know where the 14 is, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So we have that. And now we're going to work a few problems on a number line, using a number line. So let me just erase this so I can have enough room, and I'll make a number line too.
Okay.
So we know that number lines can show values from 0 to 1, but we also know that number lines can show values from 0 to negative values also, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I just made a little number line, and we're going to do some practice with this. Okay. I'll let you draw your number line. Okay, you have your number line. So we're going to practice with some values, and you can help me out to make sure I'm doing this correctly. Okay, we're going to start off with the positive 5. So what do you think is the opposite of a positive 5?
A negative 5.
Yes. So let's go ahead and do that on the number line. Show that on the number line. So we know positive 5 is right here. And we know a negative 5 is way over here. So let me ask you this question. How far is a positive 5 from 0?
5.
5. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? We have it right there. Now let me ask you this question. How far is a negative 5 from 0?
5.
And how did you get that? Did you count, or how did you do that?
I counted.
Yes, and you saw that as the same value, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now that we have that, let's try one more example. Let me get one more example. Let's try -7. So we're going to start with -7. And what's the opposite of a -7?
7.
Right? Positive, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're going to start off at the -7. And then we have +7. Okay, so again, if we count, it's 1, 2, 3. Can you take a guess of what do you think it's going to be the distance?
7.
Yes. And the other side?
7.
5, 6, 7. Yes. So we know that it is the same distance from 0. Kind of goes a lot with the absolute value, right?
Mm-hmm.
So absolute value is the same concept. If you have the absolute value of 5, it's 5. And if we have the absolute value of -5, that's 5 too, right? Because it's the same distance from 0.